Is the game over, or is it just beginning? Have you already lost? According to Davos City Acting Mayor Sebastian Baste Duterte, addressing those who oppose the Supreme Court's decision declaring the articles of impeachment against his sister, Vice President Sara Duterte, unconstitutional. But is the fight really over? The lower house does not agree. Through the Office of the Solicitor General, the House of Representatives has formally filed a motion for reconsideration to assert their right and responsibility to initiate impeachment proceedings in accordance with the Constitution. According to Speaker Martin Romualdez, this move is not an act of defiance. Rather, it is an act of duty. This is the stand for the constitutional principle that only the House has the exclusive power to initiate any impeachment case. For Speaker Romualdez, it's not just the process at stake here, but the very balance of power in our government. He criticized the Supreme Court's decision in case GR number 278,353, which, he said, enforced a new interpretation of the rules on impeachment, and worse, applied it retroactively. He said it is unjust and extremely dangerous for the law and for the institution of Congress. Romualdez insisted that House records in precedent cases like Francisco v. House are clear. A valid complaint was submitted and it was initiated properly. Moreover, the Constitution does not require that the respondent be immediately given a copy of the complaint or be given the opportunity to respond before the case is transmitted to the Senate. The stage for the defense, according to the history of impeachment, takes place during the trial in the Senate, not at the very beginning. But beyond that, the Speaker has an even deeper warning. The Court's decision seems to be a step towards insulating the judiciary from accountability. A government of laws cannot allow any branch to become the judge of its own accountability. He said, if justices are not subject to impeachment, then who will hold them accountable? According to the Supreme Court, they have already received the motion from the lower house. However, while the possibility of changing the decision remains open, it seems the Senate is rushing to decide whether or not to proceed with the trial. The 24 senators are set to vote on August 6th, 2 days from now, while the House's deadline to respond and present their full argument is still on August 11th. Senator Kiko Pangilinan called on the Supreme Court to consider the suggestion of retired Chief Justice Art Pangilinan to issue a status quo ante order and hold oral arguments so that all sides can be heard. This is not a simple legal issue. This is a question of how we uphold checks and balances in our democracy. Meanwhile, the president of a Bayan party list, who is also a representative, is also calling on the Senate not to rush the dismissal of the case. House spokesperson Atelier Princess Abante added, the House remains committed to the rule of law and will exhaust all legal remedies to protect its constitutional mandate and to ensure that accountability is not casually brushed aside. There are concerns. If the Senate proceeds with the vote on August 6th and ultimately dismisses the impeachment articles, the appeal to the Supreme Court may become moot and academic. Is it really game over if that happens? If the Supreme Court does accept the motion, how many months will it take before a resolution is reached? Will this drag on until the end of the year, which also marks the expiration of the one-year bar rule? And if that happens, wouldn't it mean that the very purpose of the impeachment was prevented, delayed, and ultimately set aside? To hold a high-ranking official accountable for their actions? In the end, many are asking, is this a legitimate defense of the Constitution, or a constitutional showdown that could leave scars on the institution? The voice of the people should prevail, so it's important not to dismiss the discourse. Face it, clarify, and if we truly believe in accountability, let the process roll out in the right way, at the right time. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much to our new followers. Support the bell. Voice of truth. Sound of history. Let's keep the bell ringing for truth, justice, and freedom.